The black waters of the forgotten galaxy stirred as a massive, looming shape glided silently through the void. They called it the Black Ship, an ancient, almost mythological vessel, feared and revered across star systems. Its origins were lost to time, spoken of only in whispers by travelers who swore they had seen it lurking at the edges of the known universe. Some said it was a ghost ship, crewed by the spirits of long-dead explorers. Others believed it was a weapon, an autonomous harbinger of destruction crafted by a forgotten race. The ship's hull was sleek, polished like obsidian, absorbing the light of distant stars rather than reflecting it. Its surface, adorned with cryptic runes and engravings, told tales of its forgotten past if only one could decipher the ancient language. No scans could penetrate its exterior, and no force field could deflect its course. Wherever the black ship passed, silence followed. Captain Eris Canto, commanding officer of the exploration vessel Aurora's Edge, stared at the darkened holographic display in her quarters. The ship's logs were incomplete, but all indications pointed to the same thing. They had entered the sector where the ship was last sighted. The black ship, it was an obsession for her, something she had hunted across the galaxy for years. Her crew didn't share the same enthusiasm. They had heard the stories, and their fear was palpable. But Eris had seen something, a vision years ago that compelled her. The ship had called to her, whispered her name across space and time. As Aurora's Edge drifted deeper into the sector, the void itself seemed to shift, becoming denser, darker, as if the very fabric of space was closing in. The stars thinned, their light dimming, as if fearful of what lay ahead. Then, without warning, the ship's sensors detected a massive object appearing from the shadows. It was as if it had always been there, waiting. Eris bolted to the command deck, her heart racing. The holographic display lit up, showing the outline of the black ship. It was larger than anything she had ever imagined. No records or reports had done it justice. It was an ancient monolith, its size dwarfing her ship tenfold. The markings on its surface seemed to shift as they approached, the runes glowing faintly with a blue, ghostly light. "Captain, should we engage shields?" asked Lieutenant Joran, the young, wide-eyed officer manning the tactical station. His voice trembled, betraying the anxiety that everyone felt. Eris shook her head. "No, we observe, nothing more." The ship's crew held their breath as Aurora's Edge closed the distance. The black hull of the ancient vessel seemed to drink in the light, bending the space around it. No energy readings, no life signs, yet something about it felt alive. Suddenly, a low hum resonated through the ship. It wasn't coming from their vessel, it was the black ship. The vibrations were felt in the bones, as if the very air around them was trembling. Eris's eyes widened as the comm station crackled to life, though no one had activated it. A voice, deep, ethereal, spoke in a language none of them could understand. The tone, however, was unmistakable, a summons. "The ship is communicating," whispered Lieutenant Joran. Eris stepped forward, her gaze fixed on the massive vessel before them. "Patch it through. Let's hear it." The voice echoed through the bridge again, this time with more clarity. It wasn't a spoken language, but something felt rather than heard. The entire crew could feel its meaning, a call to approach, a beckoning. "Captain, the ship, it's opening," Joran said, eyes wide with disbelief. Before them, a massive section of the black hull began to part, revealing a glowing interior, like the maw of a colossal creature inviting them inside. The ship's reading still showed no signs of life, no energy spikes, nothing, but it was clearly alive in some way. The pulse of the glowing interior was like the heartbeat of a living being. Eris made her decision. "Take us in." The crew exchanged anxious glances, but none dared oppose her. Slowly, the Aurora's Edge began to move into the yawning entrance of the ancient ship. The walls of the ship's interior were lined with strange, shifting symbols glowing faintly. As they passed deeper inside, Eris could feel the weight of history pressing down on her. The untold centuries that this vessel had wandered the stars, waiting. Inside, the space was impossibly large. It defied the dimensions visible from the outside. The glow from the walls brightened as they ventured deeper, casting long shadows across the crew. Their instruments were useless now. Every reading showed blank or incomprehensible data, but there was no need for instruments to understand the power that was here. They came to rest in what appeared to be a massive chamber at the heart of the ship. In the center of the chamber was a towering structure, a pedestal upon which sat a pulsating crystal, surrounded by floating shards of metal that moved in rhythmic patterns, like planets orbiting a star. The air itself seemed to hum with energy. "What ice?" this Joran whispered. Eris didn't answer. She was drawn to the crystal, feeling its pull, its call. The ship had chosen her, she was certain now. She had been meant to find this place, to unlock whatever secrets lay hidden within. Her steps echoed in the vast chamber as she approached the crystal. The pulsing light seemed to sync with her heartbeat, as if attuning itself to her presence. As she reached out, her fingers inches from the crystal, the voice returned stronger now, clearer. It filled her mind with visions, stars being born, entire civilizations rising and falling, and through it all, the black ship was there, a silent observer of cosmic events. It was not a ship, not merely. It was something far older, far more powerful. Suddenly, the lights around them began to flicker. The ground beneath them trembled as the ship seemed to awaken fully, shaking off the dust of millennia. The voice intensified, filling every corner of the ship, and Eris realized this was not just a discovery. This was the beginning of something far greater than anyone could have imagined.